Hi everybody, this is Jenny from By Jenni Designs. Today I'm going to show you how to work up my women's favorite slouchy hat. For this pattern you're going to need Red Heart with Love yarn, about 180 yards, pair of scissors, size J crochet hook, a darning needle, and you can make this hat without a pom-pom or with a pom-pom. At the end of the video, I'm going to show you how I made my faux fur pom-pom, and I'll also show you how to make a pom-pom with yarn. So let me get all this stuff out of the way and we'll get started. Okay, to begin, we're going to use the magic circle or magic ring, and then we're going to be working 15 double crochet into the circle. To make a magic circle, take your yarn in your hand and place your thumb on top of the yarn. Just wrap around like so, and then you're going to put your hook right in here in this little space. Grab your yarn, chain 1. We have our circle, and now we can work 15 double crochet into the circle. And I'm just gonna double check and make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 14, 15. Okay, so go ahead and pull your end tight and join to your first double crochet, which can be tricky since we used only a chain 1, but it's going to be this first spot here. Join with a slip stitch, chain 1, and then we're going to start on row 2. Okay, for row 2, you're going to be working 2 double crochet into each of the 15 stitches around. Start here with 1, 2, next space, work 2 double crochet. Continue to work 2 double crochet all the way around, and I will meet you at the end of the row. Okay, I'm to the end of row 2 here, and you should have 30 double crochet. I've already double checked off camera that I have 30. At the end of the row, you're going to join right here on to the first double crochet, chain 1, and then we're going to start row 3. For this row, you're going to double crochet into the first stitch, and then work 2 double crochet in the next stitch, one in the next stitch, 2 in the next. Continue to do this all the way around, working 1, then 2, 1, then 2, and I will meet you at the end of the row. Alright, so I'm to the end of row 3 here. You should be ending with 2 double crochet in your last stitch. Go ahead and join with a slip stitch, chain 1, and your stitch count for row 3 should be 45, so you're going to want to go ahead and check that. And then something else I am going to check right now, and I have these noted in the written pattern, is just the measurement across the circle in the center. So if you haven't sewn in your end, just go ahead and pull it tight again so that your measurement is accurate. Lay it flat. And then it should be about 3.5 inches. It can be a tiny bit over, a tiny bit under. It'll still work out okay. So there we are at a little bit over 3.5. Perfect. And if you were to measure right there and you had 4 inches, say, you're gonna probably want to restart and use a smaller hook. Maybe go down one size to an eye hook. If you measured a lot smaller, then you would go up a hook size. Okay, so on to row 4. For row 4, we're going to double crochet in 2 and then work 2 double crochet in the next. And we're going to be working this way all the way around. So 1 double crochet in the first 2 stitches, and then 2 double crochet in the next stitch. So again, that's 1 double crochet in 2, and then 2 double crochet in the next. Go ahead and work your way all the way around, and I will meet you at the end of the row. I am just completing row 4 here. After your last stitch, join with a slip stitch, chain 1. Your stitch count at the end of row 4 should be 60. And now we're going to start row 5. For row 5, we're going to be working in the back loop only. So that means we're going to be working in just these back loops. And you're going to leave the front loops unworked. So to begin row 5, double crochet in 3, using only the back loop. Then we're going to work 2 double crochet into the next back loop. Now we're going to work 1 double crochet in the next 6 back loops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now we're going to work 2 double crochet into the next back loop. And we're going to continue around this way, working 6 double crochet into 6, and then 2 double crochet into the next. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 2 into the next. Continue to do that all the way around, and I'll meet you at the end of the row. Okay, I'm to the end of row 5 now. I've already worked my last stitch. Go ahead and join with a slip stitch. Now your stitch count at the end of row 5 should be 69, and this was your last row of increases, so all the remaining rows will have 69 stitches at the end. For row 6, you're going to chain 1, and then we're just going to work a double crochet into the back loop of each stitch around. So once again, your back loop is these loops here, and you're going to leave the front loops unworked. So just go ahead and double crochet in each back loop only all the way around, and I will meet you at the end of the row. I'm just working up my last stitch, and I'm going to join here at the end of row 6, chain 1, and now we're going to start row 7. For this row, you're going to be working a front post double crochet, and you're going to work this around the first double crochet of the previous row, not the chain 1. So go ahead and front post double crochet, and then you're going to double crochet in the top of the stitches through both loops of the next space. And then you're going to front post double crochet around the next double crochet. And then double crochet. You're going to keep doing this all the way around. So one more time, front post double crochet, and then double crochet here. Go ahead and work your way all the way around. Okay, I'm just working up my last front post double crochet of row 7. Then you're going to join with a slip stitch, chain 1, and for row 8 you're going to be doing exactly the same thing that you just did. You're going to front post double crochet around each front post double crochet that you did in the previous row, and then you're going to double crochet into the top of each double crochet. So front post double crochet, double crochet, front post double crochet, double crochet. Go ahead and repeat that all the way around. Okay, we're just finishing up row 8. Join with a slip stitch, chain 1. Here's what your hat should be looking like. Okay, for row 9, we're going to be using the back loop only again. And you're just going to be double crocheting into the back loop only of each stitch around. So sometimes this first one can be a little bit tight. Go ahead and double crochet into the back loop only of each around, and then I will meet you at the end of the row. Alright, I'm just finishing up row 9. Join and chain 1. Row 10 is going to be exactly the same as row 9, and you're going to notice throughout the pattern that there's a lot of repeated rows, but I'm still going to work through every single row with you for this video. So for row 10, we have our chain 1, and then we're just going to be using the back loop only again and double crochet into each back loop all the way around. Go ahead and work your way around, and I'll meet up with you at the end of the row. Just finishing row 10, join, chain 1. Now for row 11, you're going to be double crocheting into each stitch, and you're going to be going through both loops. So just double crochet around. We are now joining row 11. Join and chain 1. Row 12 is a repeat of row 11. You're going to double crochet into each stitch around. I am finishing up row 12. join, chain 1. Okay, and now to start row 13, you're going to be using the back loop only for this row, and you're just going to double crochet into each back loop all the way around, and I'll meet you at the end of the row. I'm just ending row 13 here. Join, chain 1. Row 14 is a repeat of row 13. You're just going to be working a double crochet into each back loop only all the way around. Alright, here I am at the end of row 14. Just going to join, chain 1, and now row 15 you're going to front post double crochet, and remember you're going around the first double crochet, not the chain 1, and then double crochet in the next, front post double crochet around the next, double crochet. Repeat this all the way around, and I'll meet you at the end of the row. I'm just finishing up row 15. Join, chain 1, and now row 16 is just a repeat of what you did. Front post double crochet here, double crochet, front post double crochet, and double crochet. Go ahead and continue to work your way around, and I'll meet you at the end. I've completed row 16 now. I'm going to join, chain 1. For row 17, you're going to be double crocheting in the back loop only. Okay, here I am at the end of row 17. Going to join. Row 18 is going to be a repeat of row 17, so chain 1 and double crochet into the back loop only of each stitch around. Okay, I'm just working my last 2 stitches here, and that completes row 18. Join and chain 1. I'm just going to pull my hook out for a second so we can take a look at how the hat is coming along. There we go. Okay. All right, now we'll move on to row 19. For row 19, you're just going to be double crocheting into each stitch around. Okay, I'm at the end of row 19, just joining, chain 1, and row 20 is a repeat of row 19, so you're just going to be double crocheting into each stitch around. All right, I'm finishing row 20 now, chain 1. For row 21, you're going to be double crocheting in the back loop only of each stitch around. Go ahead and work your way around, and I'll see you at the end of the row. Alright, I'm finishing row 21. Join, chain 1. Row 22 is going to be a repeat of row 21. Double crochet in the back loops only of each stitch around. Okay, I'm just finishing up row 22 now. So I'm going to join, chain 1. For row 23, you're going to be working a front post double crochet around your first double crochet from the previous row. Double crochet in the next stitch, front post double crochet. Continue to work this way all the way around, and I will meet up with you at the end of the row. Okay, I'm just finishing up row 23. Going to join and chain 1. Row 24 is going to be a repeat of row 23, so you're going to front post double crochet, double crochet, front post double crochet. Continue working like this all the way around, and I'll meet you at the end of the row. I am just working my last stitch here of the row, and that completes row 24. For row 25, you're going to chain 1, and then you're going to be double crocheting into the back loop only. Go ahead and work your way around, working in only the back loop, and I will see you at the end of the row. Okay, I am finishing up row 25. Just going to join and chain 1. For row 26, you're going to be working in the back loop only, but you're going to be working a half double crochet into each back loop around. So go ahead and work your way around, and I will meet up with you at the end of the row. I am just finishing up the last couple half double crochet for row 26. When you've finished your last one, go ahead and join, chain 1. For row 27, we're still going to be working in the back loop only, but now we're going to be single crocheting. So go ahead and single crochet in each back loop only around. All right, I am just finishing row 27. Just going to join here to my first single crochet. And now your final row, row 28, is a repeat of row 27. So chain 1 and single crochet in each back loop only. Continue that around, and I will meet you at the end of the row. Okay, I'm here at the end of row 28, our final row. Working my last single crochet, join with a slip stitch, and now you can fasten off. After you have fastened off, you can go ahead and sew both of your ends in. When you sew this end in, make sure you pull your circle tight again. And now we will move on to the pom-pom. I just need to grab my faux fur and I will get set up to show you how to make a faux fur pom-pom, and then we'll quickly go through how to make a yarn pom-pom also. Okay, I've gathered everything we need to make a faux fur pom-pom. So what you're going to need is your faux fur, a little bit of polyfill, small amount of yarn, a measuring tape, a needle with a nice sharp point, scissors, and a marker. Okay, I've got the faux fur flipped over now, and we're going to be working on the back side. So first we need to measure out a circle. I'm going to be cutting a 7-inch circle. So you just need to take your measuring tape and mark 7 inches. And now just take your marker and draw a circle. Your circle does not need to be perfect. You're going to be sewing it and no one would ever know it wasn't a perfect circle. So now we're going to be cutting the circle out. And when you cut, you're going to want to make sure you're putting your scissors between all the fluff and the fabric. If you just go ahead and cut, you're going to have weird cut lines within your fur. So you just need to kind of slide your scissors between. I'm hoping you can see that on the camera. So you're not really cutting through the fur, you're just cutting this fabric. Okay, so now we have our circle. Now you need to grab your needle, and you just need about 18 to 24 inches of yarn. Go ahead and put your yarn through the needle. And all you're going to be doing is stitching around the edge, and it's going to all cinch up and make your pom-pom. So I don't work right at the edge because you don't want your yarn to somehow fall out if this starts to fray too much. Now you're going to want to leave a long end here because you're going to be using this yarn to attach it to your hat. So you're just going to work your way around the entire circle like this. With some of these furs, I actually need pliers to help me pull the needle through, but this one is not so bad. So go ahead and continue to work all the way around, and I'll work on mine and I'll meet up with you when I'm getting towards the end. Okay, I've worked my way all the way around. You remove your needle for now. And now what you need to do is start pulling your yarn ends so you can close your pom-pom, but don't pull too tight because you still need to add your polyfill. Just get it mostly shut. A little bit more. Now continue to pull on your yarn to cinch it a little bit more. Just trying to pull the fur out. So once you've got it mostly shut, you can go ahead and tie a knot. Place your thumb so you can tie another knot. And then, as you can see, it's not completely shut, so I take my needle and I close the hole by sewing a few stitches. So to do that, you're just gonna sew through here. I probably need to grab my pliers. We'll see. And then just keep going back and forth, making sure that your hole is shut. Try your best not to pull too much fur. Yeah, so you can see now that's completely shut. So then I just like to tie another double knot here. And then that's it. Now your pom-pom is ready to be sewn to the top of your hat. Okay, and now I'll show you really quick how to do a yarn pom-pom if you don't already know how. I'm just gonna grab this yarn. And now you can use a cardboard if you want your pom-pom to be bigger, just like a cutout piece of cardboard. I'm gonna use my hand, and I typically use 100 wraps. So I wrap this around 100 times. Here's 3, 4. Okay, and that's about 100. Go ahead and cut. And actually, I usually do this in the beginning, but I forgot. Just cut a longer strand about 18 inches. And this is for you to lay it on. So carefully slip it off your hand, trying to keep it from unwinding there. Place it in the middle of your strand. And then you're going to tie a double knot. And what I like to do for my yarn pom-poms is use a little bit of fabric glue. I've also used Elmer's glue. You want to be really careful to only be adding it to where, you know, like to the center, because as it dries, especially Elmer's glue gets hard, and you don't want the ends of your pom-pom to be hard. This dries very flexible, but so I just add a little bit along the center. And while it's still wet, I take a needle. Now I have a mess here from the faux fur, but and I just take the needle and sew through the center a few times. And it can get a little bit messy since you have the wet glue. After you've sewn through a few times, go ahead and you can knot this again. Okay, I'm back. I just knocked everything off the table here almost, but so yeah, just make your knot, and then you're gonna go around and cut through all the loops. A few more loops here. Make sure you get them all. And then you're not going to cut your long ends here because you're going to need these to sew. And then you just go around and trim up your pom-pom until it's nice and even. So as just a quick tutorial, there's that finished pom-pom. The pom-pom I'm going to use on top of the actual hat is going to be faux fur. So I'll show you really quick how to sew that onto the hat. Here we are with the hat and the pom-pom that I just made. And to sew the pom-pom to the top of the hat, it's pretty simple. So I just start by first, and now I'm using the pointier needle now. Whoop. So put one end in and then take the other. Sew that through on the other side of the circle here. And then just pull them through. And I'm going to double knot. But I'm going to also take one of the ends and oh, my yarn split there a little bit. Let me just trim it. And then I'm gonna just be sewing back up through the top just so I can attach the pom-pom a little bit better to the top of the hat. And then put your needle through, kind of find the edge of the pom-pom close to where you sewed the hole shut. Pull it through and then sew back down into the hat. I like to do this just to make sure the pom-pom is very secure. I somehow have sewn through the other end. So just do this about, I don't know, like 4 times until you feel like your pom-pom isn't floppy on top of the hat. And then you can just go ahead and sew in these 2 ends and your hat is complete. I will finish this up and then I'll just give you a quick view of the hats on my mannequin. Okay, here's a quick shot of the completed hat. Thank you so much to everybody who's watched along and crocheted with me. I will see you again soon.